Hey guys, we got some exciting news. The Crown team behind the scenes over the past year has been working on a season of comedy short films that's dropping here in a couple weeks on November 6th. Here's a little teaser trailer. Enjoy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crown Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we are breaking down
And literally just watched
Donnie Darko. Freaking put my mind in a blender, bro.
This might be a tough one because here's the problem. It's an abstract experimental film, but it's good because it actually follows like a good plot. Like you can keep up with it. It's not just doing things just for the abstract.
Sure.
Just for the idea of like, okay, you have to interpret it yourself.
Now, on first watch, it definitely appears that way, that it's just a bunch of random things happening.
Right.
It's really hard to track because they literally don't explain to you what's going on. The only reason why there's like concrete theories nowadays of like what this movie is about is because the director released a director's cut. It's more of just like a special edition. The director didn't necessarily want to do like he said he was fine with how the theatrical cut was released. Like he didn't do like, they limited me. I want to do my director's cut. That's the real version of the movie. He just wanted to add a little bit more and just kind of have like a new special version of the movie. But within that special version, they have where you can read the actual text of the book that Donnie Darko is obsessed with, the philosophy of time travel.
Which I do think that helps.
Definitely does. I mean, because I was so confused watching this movie. I'm like, what? Like,
because we watched the theatrical version.
Yes.
We did not see the director's cut.
They had like more deleted scenes. There's different things in there that just provide more info.
Because this is one of those movies that created a cult audience for sure.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are obsessed over this movie. Like it's just one of those. I wonder how they feel about him doing that. Because how long was it after this was released that he came out with the director's cut?
Theatrical cut was in 2001 when the movie came out, obviously, and the director's cut was 2004, which added about 20 minutes of footage.
Okay.
And an explanation of the film's time travel mechanics through an on-screen text, which some fans find reduces the original ambiguous mystery, but
I don't really take it as like going for ambiguous or abstract or anything like that. I like the original release. Because this is only my second time watching it. The first time I watched it was like a few years ago, and I'd like kind of had an understanding. I think it's one of those things where like you understand the basis of it, but once you start asking questions, you can definitely get lost, which I think is about I think that's what's going to happen here.
That's where I am.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like that they tell it in the way of, you think about like a Marvel movie or even a Christopher Nolan movie. Like I think, we just did Inception not that long ago. They like straight up like tell you,
easy to follow the hyper complex story.
This is the mathematic and scientific. This is how everything is working in what we're trying to show you in this movie.
You can watch that movie and by the end of it, or by multiple watches, you know exactly what went down.
You can have theories on some things, but you understand the basis of what they're going for. Where in this movie, I like that they don't do that. They don't dumb it down for the audience.
No,
you're kind of thrown into it like Donnie is.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. Like he doesn't know what the hell is going on.
Now, I wish they had just some more explanation on like what's actually happening, because
they tried.
I mean, you could watch this movie 100 times.
Yeah.
And without having that director's cut of like giving you the information of like what that book actually outlined of the, prophecy of what Donnie's about to do and all this stuff of the time travel, you wouldn't be able to understand what happened.
Yeah.
Like you need the text. So I wish there was just a little bit more concrete ideas that you could follow. Still keep it ambiguous if you want, but like I like knowing
it's funny
what the hell's going on.
It's funny that in this version, like you get so close because Donnie's having the conversation with his science teacher about all these theories that he has and just all this. And you think there's about to be this breakthrough where the science teacher is about to explain to him and us everything that's about to happen. And then he just straight up says, all right, I can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
And you're left kind of pissed off along with Donnie. And Donnie just speaks for you. He's like, why?
Yeah.
And then that's it. So like you were just about to get, I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like he's about to explain it to the audience, to Donnie. And then it's like, boom. Now I understand exactly what needs to happen, but he doesn't.
Nope.
And then you just kind of have to roll with the punches like Donnie.
So with the whole ending of it, the way that I'm somehow able to understand what happens, what the text says from the director's cut,
which I have not seen. I haven't seen
that either. Yeah. Obviously, it's my first time.
No.
Probably for this podcast, my first time seeing this movie.
Yeah, like there needed to be a little bit of, okay, like what the fuck? I haven't seen the director's cut before. I've only seen the theatrical cut twice. So I need to go see the director's, but everything that he put in there, I have no idea. I don't know what he put in there.
Yeah, I do. So one of the main things he puts the on-screen text, like we just explained, about what Donnie is actually going through and the philosophy of time travel that the grandma dead wrote back in her heyday. So it explains how time works with the primary universe that we all experience right now.
Yes.
And then randomly, you don't know why, there's no explanation of why this happens, but they call it
there's an anomaly.
Yeah, but it's called not an object, artifact. Okay. So an artifact, what they say, is most of the time made of metal. It could be like an arrowhead from, Native Americans. Yeah. It could be whatever. It's always metal. So in this case,
it has to be a tangible object.
Yes.
Yeah.
That gets duplicated for some reason in the time, universe, spectrum, 4-dimensional world. For some reason, something gets duplicated.
Don't trip yourself out yet.
I'll try not to.
You're just scratching the surface.
So when that happens, the primary universe gets put on pause, and then a tangent universe gets created with that duplicate object. And so what happens is that duplicate or that tangent universe can only survive for a few weeks. In this movie, 28 days and whatever 6 hours and 12 seconds or
28
something.
days. You get October.
Yeah, you get all October to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so if you don't return that artifact back to its original spot or remove the duplicate out of the equation, then the universe can get destroyed by becoming a black hole, and then all of existence can just be gone. So what he has to do is because this is what you don't understand. At the end of the movie, he's using telekinesis to actually control the plane.
Yes.
To force the object to go in. Watching the movie, you'd have no clue he's using telekinesis. Right. You'd be like, when you hear that, you're like, what the fuck? Where'd you even get that from?
He's standing right there. Like it's like he's got this look on his face as if he's choosing to make this happen. Like
sure.
You could definitely see, and that's, credit to Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. Like he plays the role really well of like very rebellious. And at the very end, he's accepting of like what has to happen and that he's the one that has to do everything.
Yeah.
I think I'd give him a little bit more credit. I get it that it's your first time seeing it, but you also have to remember like the bunny dude like tells him in the beginning, he's like, you can also do anything.
Right. You have powers.
Because like you have superpowers. You are the
chosen one.
What are they called?
The living receiver.
The receiver. Like since you have been chosen as the receiver, you get superpowers, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like what I'm having such a hard time understanding is, I think I might know now, but what I was confused about is if he has to return the jet engine back to where it originally started and crashes into his house, what's the point of him waking up and leaving? Why couldn't it just stayed there?
Why couldn't he have just died?
It just died right there, and then it would have been no movie. But I think it's because that object is still a duplicate object. Like there's no way, like has came from nowhere. And so in the tangent universe, we find out where that object actually came from. So that's why it's duplicated. It's the same object in two universes. Mm-hmm. So I guess he has to just take the plane and take that object and remove it out of the tangent universe to where it's only now present in the primary universe.
Okay.
So otherwise, that jet engine would be the same in the tangent and the regular one, I guess. And it's just they're not linked properly. So he has to like move it into the primary universe to where now the full story can be completed in the grand scheme of time.
Yeah, it's no
even though the
longer-
people in the primary universe will still have no idea where that jet engine came from. It will still be a mystery to them. But I guess the way, since he moved it in, now there's like, it tracks perfectly of like where it actually came from. It's no longer a duplicate. It came from the tangent universe into the primary versus at the start of the movie, it just popped in the primary somehow. There was no like guidance.
Yeah.
Just
and there's no explanation for that either. It is purely just an anomaly. Like
They say there's no way to know why an artifact gets duplicated and why a tangent universe happens. Like that's just something that happens randomly. And then just for the sake of fate, Donnie was chosen to be the one to bring it back.
Yeah. Which I guess that might be another reason that the tangent universe has to happen, is because like grandmother death, she had been the receiver for whatever had happened before, whenever she had to put the tangent universe, whenever she had to save the tangent universe to then save the primary universe.
Yeah.
Do we ever know what she did
No.
to save? Okay, so
we're not even sure. We're guessing that she was a receiver. We would assume.
That's how I always took it, is that like she's kind of having to explain to Donnie like, okay, I've been doing this, or I've done this before. Like now I'm having to pass the baton to you.
Right.
And like, cause maybe there just always has to be a receiver. And maybe one day after you've done this loop, or Donnie maybe one day in a tangent universe connecting with somebody else will have to tell them like, okay, I can no longer be the receiver in the tangent universe.
Well, he's dead now.
I know. That's where I was like, fuck.
I don't think so. I think he just completed his mission and he's done. But here's a big question too at the end of the movie. Did Donnie really have to die at the end? Because when he's back in his bed and time is reversed and it's back to the primary universe where it was just on pause and now it can finally resume, it's been fixed. Donnie can get up and leave out of the room if he wanted to. And because it's fixed, like he doesn't have to die. That's not part of the whole deal. It's just the artifact is duplicated, the jet engine. That's what has to get fixed. There's nothing about him having to die that fixes the universe. Yeah. He could still be alive. So you're like, okay, why did he die? That's where you kind of get into like the theory of like, there's a potential that when he was in the tangent universe and went ahead and fixed it, that he has no real memory of it. It's like a dream almost, because there's a different universe. Now he's transported back in the primary. And so, I mean, you see the faces of all the people at the end of the movie. They feel like they almost know what happened. They have deja vu. It's like something's happened. They have some distant memory that they can't quite see, but they have the feeling still. And so that could be why Donnie's laughing at the end and he's like happy, is because he's in bed and he has the distant memory of like figuring life out and like having the pride of sacrifice potentially, or that he actually went through his whole life and went through the process of growing up as an adolescent and then feels good about it, and then but still also forgot the jet engine was coming barreling into his room, and so he just ended up dying.
Yeah. So
it becomes a sacrificial thing, but he didn't necessarily have to. I've heard that theory where in the scheme of the science of the book, it says nothing about you having to die. The living receiver doesn't have to pass away, because if the old lady was a receiver, then she also is still living. So clearly that's not part of the deal.
I mean, yeah, okay. I see what you mean right there. And maybe her circumstances were just completely different than his.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know, like maybe it's more of just like the universe's way of like being nice to Donnie, giving him 28 days to just like live a full life, like pretty quickly, you know, which is what I was telling you earlier, is like he gets to fall in love really fast. Cause you know, not the whole point, but one of the things that is going on with Donnie is like, he's an adolescent kid, still fucked up. Got a lot of questions about God and the universe, as you know, a lot of young men do when they're like that age.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's safe to assume he's like 16, 17, maybe 18.
Maybe 15, because they mentioned that his teacher, Drew Barrymore, she reads a passage, and if you notice, every passage she reads in the movie is kind of like speaking a sort of prophecy of his life.
Sure. Yeah.
And so she mentions a kid somebody that was 15 years old that went through some adolescence growth when he was 15.
Okay. Then
so maybe he's like 15. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. And then like his ultimate fear is dying alone, which he does, sadly. But like, I think it's kind of just the universe's way of just being like, hey, like, you're going to die and that sucks, but like you kind of have to.
If you're enjoying the episode so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us out a ton for growth. And if you're on Apple or Spotify, leave us a review. That also helps out a ton. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Well, here's another theory on why he's laughing. It's because he was scared to die alone. He didn't want to die alone. He mentions that in the movie. But in the end, he may have had a realization that he's not going to die alone because what has happened to him in the tangent universe was clearly guided by something. Something chose him to do it. Mm-hmm. He did it. There was we'll explain this in a second, but there were characters in the movie in the tangent universe that were predetermined to help position him in a spot to have to choose to save the universe. Like the bunny is a high school kid. His girlfriend also pushed him in that way. We'll explain this in a second, but so he realized that, okay, there is actually something in the universe that's actually guiding me in life. So when I die, I actually won't be alone because I'll be with God. Whatever higher power in this world is guiding him,
he's just accepted.
He's accepted that that'll be with him.
Totally alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though he does die alone in a sense in the like Earth world, in the grand scheme of the universe,
there's something else.
There's something else because it has clearly guided him to do what he did. And then also I want to change my stance on what I just said about him sacrificing himself, where he didn't really have to sacrifice himself. I guess Donnie knows when he does the fix of moving the jet engine back to the primary universe and then it reverses time and he's in bed, he may have known, I'm not going to remember this whenever I wake up. So I know this is going to kill me because it's coming to my room, but I'm going to do it anyway. So maybe he just knew that he wouldn't remember.
Yeah.
That's part of the sacrifice that he went through. So
that has to be.
Maybe he did sacrifice himself where he just knew out of just pure stance, this artifact is coming crashing into my bedroom. Mm-hmm. And so whenever I put it where it's going to go in my bedroom and I'm going to be sleeping in bed. Yeah. And then, that happens.
That's good. See, you just needed to talk yourself through it. Cause it's one of those things where I understand it. It's just kind of hard to put it into words. And maybe I don't even understand it. Maybe I could just be completely wrong. But again, it's one of those films that I think's up for interpretation, but because it follows a good actual storyline, where they even gave it some type of science and math to it to where it makes sense. Everybody can relatively agree what's going on in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas
with the theory,
you think of you think of other experimental films where it's literally just up for interpretation, and how you watch the film is completely different from everybody else.
Yeah.
Which is why this movie sticks. Because it brings you back to a central plot.
Yeah.
And Donnie Darko is having to save the world.
And what's cool about this movie is that the director, he said, I just have this theory that I want to divulge in this movie. I don't agree that it's true. I'm not saying that it's not true either. I just have this cool theory and I think it might be fun for people to think about. So here's a movie. So it's cool that he made it ambiguous because he's also ambiguous on if this actually is true or this weird theory about time or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of making shit up and he's I don't know, it's a cool theory I thought about. So I'll make the movie. Yeah. But again, he's think what you want to think about it. I don't know. I don't have a hard stance on what I created. It's just, that's just what I saw.
That's just how it all laid out.
Yeah. And it was a cool little story. He said, I guess maybe what inspired him about the movie or the sense that the characters have at the end of the movie when they have that deja vu feeling where they feel like they've known something has happened, but they aren't quite sure what it is. Cause in the tangent universe, they've all gotten to know Donnie, experienced him, the whole deal. A lot of crazy things happen within Donnie being connected to him. And then they know that they have a sense that he maybe sacrificed himself or something bad's happened. Right. So I guess his theory about the whole deja vu deal is that he said when he was a kid, he has this faint, weird, distant memory of him standing outside somewhere and there's an old lady in a hotel room and she waved to him and he wove back. It was had this, it seemed to him a weird just connection that they had. Yeah. And it still was a distant memory to him. So he's that sense of what if there was meaning to that moment that I, for some reason, have in the back of my mind, just some arbitrary memory that means nothing where just some old lady wove at me outside of a window. Why do I have that memory? Yeah. Even though it's distant. So I think that what inspired him was
maybe wove.
Is that a word? Waved? Oh yeah. Waved.
You said it once. Fancy. You said it once and I was all right, that happened. But then twice. Do you think wove is a past tense of
waved? This old lady waved at her.
Sorry.
No, thank you for catching me. I would have kept saying wove.
They would have killed you for that, yeah.
Went off. It came out of the mouth smooth.
Yeah.
So that's got to be right.
Yeah. Those things are cool. This movie is trippy in the sense that it did give a reason for why deja vu might be happening. Because everybody has experienced deja vu, I think. One of the weirdest phenomenons of life.
Yeah, strange.
It literally makes no sense.
I've heard the scientific explanation on it. I feel like we might have even talked about this before, like on an early episode.
Like what?
Are we having deja vu now?
I don't think so. I don't remember talking about deja vu.
The scientific explanation is
like
that
something similar.
What?
Like something similar. Like you think you're having a deja vu moment, as in like, wait, I've seen this before. But what it might really be is that like you've experienced something very, very similar to it.
It's because your thoughts are just, electronic signals in your brain. Like that's like the science behind your thoughts is that your brain's firing and connecting neurons or whatever. And so when you have deja vu, what happens, a scientific theory is that whatever you're experiencing has went through the exact same pattern in your brain. So it feels the same because let's say, let's just make up something. Let's say your electronic pattern, it goes into a square.
Yeah.
At one time, me and you were talking together and we talked and my thought process or whatever, the electricity went in a square. And so, several years later, whenever we're talking again or I'm doing something else or it doesn't have to be related, my brain goes into a square again for the first time in a long time. And then I'm like, whoa, this feels the same. Because my brain has experienced that pattern before. Even though it's not the same, like it's a different whole deal, but your brain pattern apparently goes through the same pattern that it has done before. So that's why it feels the same. That's just some theory that I read. Who knows if it's true or not, but that makes some sort of scientific sense.
It does in an annoying way because it's just like, no. I've seen this before.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you don't know something has happened until it has. Like, wait, I knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Only after it's happened.
Right. Exactly.
You can't like predict. You're like, wait, hold on. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, can't actually see the future.
You can't be like Donnie Darko and the tangent
universe.
Tangent universe. I had to look up. I was like, so wait, Patrick Swayze, like his character, was he actually like a child porn dude? Or was that just some fake thing that had to happen in the Tangent universe? Tangent
universe is cursed.
It was just like, no, that's really how his character was. He actually was that bad of a person.
Hopefully him at the end of the movie when he's crying by his bed, he's realized his sins and is no longer going to have what they call it? Kitty ring?
The kitty porn ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he's realized after getting caught in a dream, he's like, wait, fuck, I should probably stop doing this. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude.
Is that because of that? Like I could imagine that somebody that's addicted to kitty porn probably hates himself and wakes up crying every day. That does check out.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that does check out. That makes sense. Or is it kind of because like what were you talking about earlier? Donnie Darko, like when he's laughing when the plane comes, it's because he's like kind of coming out of the dream state. So he like has a distant memory of things, but like he still feels what just happened in the Tangent universe in some kind of distant way.
Yeah.
Kind of the same with Cunningham. Like that could be happening to him.
Right.
He could be
crying.
Patrick
Swayze,
he could be, yeah.
Just in case somebody's seen it, just to help follow.
He could be crying because in the Tangent universe, he actually did go to jail for the kitty porn.
Right. Yeah.
And so like when he wakes up, he's crying because he was just in the cop car,
Yeah. No, he's feeling the guilt of being caught.
His literal worst nightmare is being caught for that.
Yeah.
You would imagine.
And so something else that's cool when you learn the theory is that there's also a thing. So there's a thing called the manipulated living, who are the people in the Tangent universe that have the powers that can come. It's the bunny. It's also his girlfriend too.
Well, I know about the living and the dead because the bunny's the dead one.
Yeah.
He's the manipulated dead. I think his girlfriend is the manipulated living. We got to read the book real quick.
Okay, sorry. What I mean to say is there's also the manipulated dead.
Although I guess she might be the manipulated dead.
Yeah, she's manipulated dead. Yeah. The manipulated dead are people that have died at some point within the Tangent universe in the future, and they can come back and help him fulfill his mission of saving the actual primary universe. And so what's cool in the movie is that you find out that the bunny was actually a high school kid. And there's actually a scene, I think, in the beginning of the movie whenever...
I was going to ask, do you ever see him at the beginning?
Yeah. When Donnie's riding his bike in the beginning of the movie, you see... what's his name?
Frank.
You see Frank drive by in his car.
Really?
Just a quick little detail that Frank's obviously in the real world at this point. And so
Okay.
it's just, so the manipulated dead within the story, we're talking about how characters move these terms are fucking killing me. The living receiver, who is Donnie. The manipulated dead, who is the bunny and the girlfriend, push the living receiver in the tangent universe to have to make the right choice of saving the universe. Otherwise, it's gonzo forever.
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting how all the characters kind of like do push him toward that decision, because the dead guy, the bunny, comes to him and tells him to flood the school. What that does is it sets him up to not go to school, and now he has a conversation with Gretchen
yeah.
to now he can fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
So because of love will bring him back to where he wants to actually save the people that he's killed. Because in the tangent universe, if he keeps living, which he won't for any longer, but let's just pretend that he would keep living, his girlfriend's dead and now he's a wanted killer. So he can't stay in that world. He has to do something else. So he's like, I'm going to revert back and actually save the world instead and sacrifice myself for this greater good. But so the bunny has to kill his girlfriend in order for Donnie to actually shoot him out of anger, to then allow the bunny to go back in time and help Donnie and guide him through the whole rest of the movie. So it's like, you see the ending where it actually starts the beginning of the movie. Yeah. So it's all like a big loop. Right. And the girlfriend, I don't know if she's like knowingly manipulated dead.
Shouldn't seem to be.
But she does like latch on to him quicker. Like she kind of latches on to him quick. But they also both share trauma.
She also chooses to sit next to the cute boy in class when Drew Barrymore's character like says to do that.
Yeah, odd thing for a teacher to ever say to a high school child. Sit next to the boy you think is cute. Just put on the spot. First day in class, new girl.
It's a weird little world we get put in. It's also a tangent universe, you know. So.
True, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stuff happens in a tangent universe.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I don't. Yeah, I can't tell if she's doing it willingly. Because I don't know. For Donnie's sake, I'd be a little annoyed for him if she knew that he had to die and sacrifice himself for the world and she still wouldn't put out, which is still pretty. I probably shouldn't say that about like a 15-year-old theatrical romance.
Boy, oh boy.
I probably shouldn't say that.
Somebody clip that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's kind of some bullshit. Donnie is 15 years old, clearly a hormonal teenager.
Raging.
I mean, when he's put under hypnosis, the only thing he can talk about is having sex.
And he wants to touch himself.
Yeah. And so and that's the guy that's going to save the world.
Yeah, right.
And so if she understands what's happening, why does her not having sex with him, why does she have to do that? Why can't she just immediately start hooking up with him?
Because he has to fall in love.
I feel bad for Donnie.
Because you got to have him fall in love.
I feel like that would have helped.
I love you, actually.
I think when you're 15 years old and, the random new girl that just shows up into town immediately starts having sex with you, I could definitely see Donnie being like, yeah, I'm going to die for her. I love her. I will do everything for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the story of every 15-year-old boy that ever
existed in any universe, tangent or primary.
Oh, I got to be careful.
There is another kind of deeper metaphor in the movie of the fact that it's almost like a Christ story because he sacrifices himself, but he's like an unholy version because he's
the destroyer.
Exactly.
Yeah. His whole thing is destroy to create, and he proves it. He floods the school. He burns the Cunningham's house down.
Which water and fire, biblical symbols, the flood.
The fact that he literally calls out Cunningham for being the Antichrist.
Because he's preaching a sort of false hope to people, which is what the Antichrist in the Bible actually does.
Literally.
Gives people false hope and will do wonders for people and makes these grand promises and all this, and it's just all empty.
Then even the movie that he leaves to go burn Cunningham's house down, it mentions Christ.
The last temptation of Christ or something like that.
Oh, then that's pretty good because Cunningham mentions that there's 3 temptations that teenagers have to overcome. And it's drinking, drugs, and premarital sex. And Donnie Darko just knocks right, like he goes right through all of them.
All of them.
Like he's literally getting fucked up with his boys all the time.
Yep.
And the drugs, he's having to pop pills that are prescribed to him, and he smokes cigarettes, which I think they're funny cigarettes. I don't think they're just like normal Marlboro Reds or American Spirits. They show up to school looking like they are blasted.
They do. It's weird. There's no way they would have said it was a joint. There's no reason to like.
They're also 15 years old, so I think they're like kind of, they're trying to look cool. Like, yeah, we smoke cigarettes and we're fucked up.
yeah.
We're rebellious.
This is some good shit.
Yeah. So like, it's funny that he's like kind of the embodiment of Christ because he's just the teenage version of him.
Yeah.
The
unholy version.
Yeah. He's the rebellious. Like he's, destroying things. He's using bad language, calls his mom a bitch.
Yep.
He's drinking. He's shooting. He's always horny and not afraid to fight it.
Yep.
So yeah, like he's getting drunk, he's smoking cigarettes, popping pills, and then he eventually does have sex with his girlfriend.
Yep.
So he defeats the Antichrist because the Antichrist is like, if you just don't do these three things, you'll be good.
Yeah. And it's like a reversal on the story.
Right.
Because obviously in the Bible, the devil tempts Jesus 3 times. And Jesus denies every temptation.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but what he does is he actually goes into the temptations and actually does them.
Oh, Jesus?
No. Donnie.
Oh, Donnie actually does them. Yeah.
Does the temptations and then ends up actually arcing over it.
He's like the anti-Antichrist.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool and like creative way to go about it because here's the thing. Donnie sometimes is an asshole. He can be a real dick, but like you can tell he has good intentions. He literally tells the girl, because remember at the beginning of the movie, like the guys,
are
like
picking on
his buddies. Yeah, they tell the sweet girl who's literally portrayed as an angel. Now that I'm thinking about it, in that talent show, she's a literal angel.
Yeah,
she's just a good person. They tell her, what they say, go back to China, bitch.
Yes.
And me and you just looked at each other like, whoa.
Dude, there's so many lines in this movie that I'm just cracking up at. Just brutal comebacks.
I was like, whoa, that just came out of nowhere. That was so mean. But then he eventually tells her, he's like, your life gets better.
It's just always funny in a movie to me whenever you hear just like straight up bullying. Like not like kind of under the rug, like things that you're like, oh, that was mean, but you can get away with.
Yeah.
Some of these movies,
go back
you
to
just hear
China,
guys just say some fucking real mean shit.
Yeah, bro, that doesn't fly in any context. There's no way you can talk your way out of that. Like, oh no, I actually meant it like this. It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
No.
There's another one too.
Well, so then there's like the funny, again, it's not like they knew that Seth Rogen was going to have the career that he was going to have, but it is hilarious that he did. And then he gets put in this movie. And like his
background character.
Yeah, his first line is, I like your boobs.
Yeah.
They just, without even knowing, or maybe they did time travel.
They might have. Well, when did Superbad come out?
Superbad was after this. He'd written it, I guess.
Yeah.
But he was also, Seth Rogen was on that show, Freaks and Geeks.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so that was 1999 to 2000. Okay. I mean, you have to be an established actor to be in this movie.
Sure.
But in this show, he was like kind of he's actually a bully. This one, he's just like a bully that, yeah.
I can't just laugh at it.
Like,
you're fat.
I like your boobs. That's his line in this movie. And they like had no idea that Seth Rogen was just going to have a career where he pretty much just says that all the time.
Yeah, right.
It's hilarious that he somehow made his way into this movie. But yeah, like the bullying like goes hand in hand. Oh, fuck. How did we get there?
I don't know. Oh, you're talking about the angel lady that gets called a bitch and to go back to China.
Right. Yeah. I forget what the point is other than the fact that like Donnie, like he's a troubled youth, like getting drunk and all that, but like he does kind of have a lot of embodiments of Christ. Like he does care to make sure that everybody seeks the real truth and make sure that everybody like kind of is taken care of. He tells people to back off. Like he stands up to bullies.
Yeah. He
saves the world,
yeah,
which I guess would be like the ultimate Christ-like thing.
Yeah. I mean, after he kills somebody, his girlfriend's dead. He tells the guy, go home. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll do it.
I'm going to go save the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. And then the other thing is like, I'm going to try and put this in the best way that I can, but that's one thing that I do love about this movie is that like Donnie is smart. Like it's just a known thing. Like he does well in school.
Yeah. They
like
say that his tests for whatever college he was applying for were intimidating.
Is that the word that they use?
Yeah. Like that's how you're fucking a genius, maybe.
Right. So like whenever, that's why he has good relationships, I think, with his teachers is because like dude's a fucking straight A student.
Yeah. Which
and
is
he's asking a lot of questions, you know.
That's why like whenever he's debating with his science teacher or the, you know, whatever, what is science teacher?
His science teacher. Yeah.
You would assume that would be this favorite student of the science teacher who's going to debate and have these long thought processes on deep ideas and like, what is it really? And just, you think he'd have fun, but he backs off, which is again, probably another metaphor for the fact of like how this world's kind of corrupted where the teachers are scared of the actual authority above them versus like actually seeking out the truth, you know, and Donnie's the one that like breaks the mold and actually saves the universe by going with the truth of this tangent universe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do. Yeah. On
Wicked
that,
smart.
I do. Yeah. I do love that. Well, I guess I should finish up my original point. You're thrown into this movie with Donnie Darko, who is like, it's understood that he's smart. So you just immediately have to catch up with him. Like you just have to kind of understand things as things are unfolding for him.
Mm-hmm.
So it allows the audience to actually have to think,
right,
and not be explained like what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of Donnie's way of being like, fuck you, you're in this with me.
Yeah.
And I'm lost. Like I got to figure it out myself.
It's also good the way they shoot the movie with the ambiguous nature of it, because throughout the most of the movie, you could be like, maybe he is a schizo. Like every time he's dreaming, he looks dark. I mean, you see the darkness in Jake Gyllenhaal that we love to see in all of his performances. And so
he's on and off the meds. You know,
there's weird like experimental type of cinematography or I guess editing where he's like seeing visions and it cuts to waves and like, you know, it's very abstract type of editing to throw just different images at you. So like maybe this guy is a schizo, he's seeing weird shit. The way you hear him with his therapist, like, okay, maybe he is crazy. So you really are kind of watching the movie and plus all the darkness of him, like taking out the knife. You see him find the gun. You're like, oh, is he going to kill people? Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, maybe he is crazy. And then at the end, you find out he's not. He actually saved the world.
Yeah.
So the way they made it with, you know, you're having to follow him and catch up with him because, again, you don't know. Is he crazy? Is he not?
Yeah.
You have that question the entire movie.
Yeah. I'm also trying to figure out, I think the mom plays a way more important character than you're initially led on to believe. Part of me thinks that the mom somehow understands that she's also in the tangent universe and that her son is the living receiver. Even though it goes unsaid, she just does so many things. Or it could be because she's just a good mom.
Sure.
And she's like a free thinking mother. But like, I don't know, like there's just little things where I'm like, she somehow understands that like Donnie is having to do, she understands that Donnie is not schizo.
Maybe she's actually a manipulated dead too, because of the fact that she dies in the airplane crash in the tangent universe, probably. So she's also, because she has to leave in order for the world to get fixed. She's a manipulated dead too.
Thank you. I haven't looked into that or anything. But like just watching this movie, I'm trying to think of like specific things other than like she accepts to go on that plane ride.
Leaving her dark son who's in a lot of trouble.
She clearly does not want to.
No, she's about to have to tell Donnie, she's leaving, your sister's in charge, you know, all the rules of the land whenever I leave. And when she goes to his room to go talk to him, he's not in there and she's staring at this really dark sketch on his calendar. And she's like, oh God.
Yeah.
You're like, come on. And also imagine after just hearing what Donnie said in the last therapy session towards the end of the movie, they throw a Halloween party. That therapist is like, oh my God, he's going to kill everybody. The entire party.
Yeah.
She would have stopped it, you know?
Yeah. The end of the world. You're hearing that as a therapist from a 15-year-old's mouth.
Yeah.
That could literally be interpreted as like, oh, he thinks that he has to kill this party to like save the world.
Right.
Or, you know, God knows what he might be thinking. He's clearly lost it.
Well, if you're a therapist, if you're a patient and you're talking about they're going to have to do this, they're going to have to kill people, it's going to be the end of the world. They is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They lock him up.
But his mom's so supportive. He even says like, what's it like having a wacky son? And she's like, it's wonderful. And part of me thinks that she says that line because she knows that he's the savior. She's like so proud of him. She can't just upright tell him that because that would kind of fuck things up.
It's like at his darkest moment, he feels love, like true love from his mother, who like unconditional love. Like, yes, you are wacky, but it's wonderful. I love you despite that.
Yeah. Well, then I and there's no really telling like what the cause and effect is, but like the fact that he calls her a bitch, sure, you can look at it as like, okay, she's been putting up with this. She knows that he's like just going through some type of episode.
Yeah. You even see a little bit of regret in his face after he says it.
Right.
It comes back to him and he's kind of like thinking about it and then kind of just goes back to his book.
So I'm saying like she doesn't punish him for that reason. It's like, okay, he called me a bitch, but like he's clearly going through something. The other reason is like she can't interfere. You know, maybe somehow her getting riled up and starting this huge argument with, which I think most mothers would if their 15-year-old son called them a bitch. She like kind of lets him do it. And kind of get away with it. So it's just weird. Like it's just weird little moments like that where I'm like, does she kind of know?
Yeah, she might.
Does she? I think that'd be a good one though. The fact that you said does die in the airplane crash in the Tangent universe, but does she? Because we never really see her die. Right.
She would have.
But then also like, why is his sister, his younger one? Is she also? I'm trying to think if she did anything.
She catches him when he's in the bathroom talking to the bunny.
Okay.
But that doesn't really lead. I don't think that really sets anything up.
All right.
She obviously does good at her performance and gets the whole crowd cheering, which forces the mom to then go and take the plane ride. So
she's a really good dancer.
Maybe there's that.
She's manipulated as fuck. She's really good. Takes them to LA because she's such a good dancer.
Right. They're about to go win a competition.
That's
maybe.
Right. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of cool levels to this. And then one thing that I do want to get to that I thought was pretty cool. Again, this is kind of up for that interpretation of like, what does it mean? But one of the kind of more famous scenes, one of the scenes that makes this like good for I think every audience, especially like adolescent audience to appreciate it, is whenever he's arguing with his teacher that his mom does not like. And she's pretty much put on the spectrum that there's either fear or love.
Right.
And like, that's it. And Donnie's like,
there's way more emotions.
To hell with that. Like, that's just not how it is. It's you as a human being understand that that's just simply not how it is. But then at the end of the film, he either has to like choose between fear, which is kind of a twisted way. Like his fear is like having to live. And like live with the fact that like he got it, like his girlfriend's dead, or he has to live with love, which is death in its own twisted way.
Or protecting everybody.
Right.
Saving the universe.
But yeah.
Loving everybody else.
But he has to die.
Yeah. He really does pick love over fear.
Yeah. So like when it came down to it, it actually did come down to those two emotions.
It's a double-sided coin too, because he chooses to sacrifice himself, which comes with fear, but he's triumphing over the fear for the love of the universe and the people.
Well, he's choosing love, you know?
Yeah.
He has now experienced it and he cares about Gretchen. And he wants her to live a good life.
Yeah. If he would have stuck in the Tangent universe, he would have lived with fear of being a runaway killer and killing somebody, and also his girlfriend getting run over and killed. And then also the fact that the universe is going to die, which is going to be, or actually more of the fear of him having to sacrifice himself. Like, I'm actually too scared to let the jet engine crash into my room, so I'm just going to let the universe get killed. But he, again, actually chooses the fear over, or the love over the fear, which is funny that he like says it's not true and then actually does it at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is funny.
Like, that's just because at that point it's like, all right, well, what is the filmmaker trying to say there? That like, is that really what it is? Does it really only come down to those two things? Like when it's all said and done, fear and love? So it's an interesting up for interpretation message, I think.
Yeah, because there's something with the Patrick Swayze's character as the Antichrist type figure preaching it. Well, maybe it's okay. Here we'll go a little deep on this one. Maybe it's
what this movie's supposed to do. Yeah.
Patrick Swayze being the Antichrist type character, he's preaching the love and fear deal with false hope and a very surface level intention. And then you see Donnie Darko actually do that, but in the fullest way possible.
Yeah.
So like he's actually bringing that idea to fruition in the deepest way possible by like sacrificing yourself and choosing love over fear in a true, like I just said, sacrificial nature. So it's like taking the surface level thing that the Antichrist character type said, or Antichrist type character said, to then fulfill it in the truest sense.
While what Cunningham is preaching like might be some type of truth, Donnie Darko actually like embodies it.
Right.
To where like
in the truest sense.
Right. Yeah. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah. That's probably the tie in there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot in there.
Yeah. And it's all,
I'm glad you finally got to watch this. Also, had no idea that this was all set up in Halloween. Completely forgot that. So that works out for us releasing this in October.
That was planned. We got this figured out.
We know what we're doing.
We ain't just freeballing.
Yeah.
But more on the fact of how he could be crazy. They really do kind of juxtapose his darkness without any trauma. You notice that his family is actually a pretty loving family. His dad's actually a good father. They depict him as just a very standard good father who's, on the conservative side, but even when he's arguing with his daughter, he doesn't get nasty about it. He just kind of says his piece and he's like laughs about it afterwards. So he's really not like they put that scene in there at the dinner table whenever, Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal are arguing with each other. Pretty cool. They have brother and sister playing brother and sister.
Yeah. Good for the Gyllenhaal family at that time.
Fat checks, baby.
Fat checks.
And so they set that scene up, I think, really just to show that Johnny doesn't really have any trouble at home. Like his darkness doesn't come from any trauma outside of himself. Like there's nothing bad happened to him ever. It's just like he just has this darkness. So you think, okay, maybe he is crazy. But that scene at the dinner table when she says she's going to vote for the other guy and, Donnie's dad says he's voting for George Bush.
Yeah.
They show that scene as a potential to be like, okay, here's where the trauma is. The dad's going to get real nasty to the daughter because he doesn't agree with her politically and all this stuff. But then it ends up being just a nice thing. So now you're like, there's no ammunition to say like his family's bad.
Yeah.
Even when Donnie says like something mean to a teacher, his dad laughs about it. He's like, he's just a good dad that loves his kids and isn't taking things too seriously. And he's not a bad guy.
Yeah. And not even so much in that sense where like, I think this film does do a good job of showing like the ideal family embodiment of like, especially living in America. Like if you send your kids to whatever school that you send them to, it all comes back to like freedom of speech where like they need to be asking questions. That's like one of the most important things for a teenager to do.
Yeah.
Which is why I think this movie is really good for a teenage audience as well as an adult audience. Because like what Donnie Darko is doing is not necessarily bad. He's literally asking questions and then stating opinions that he has when he gets those questions answered.
Yeah.
And so like, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie like just goes to show that like, he's not a bad kid. He's just got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And this is how it should be handled.
Another thing his dad says is like, whenever the mom comes back into the bedroom to tell Donnie's father that Donnie called her a bitch, he's like, you're not a bitch, honey. You're bitching. You're not a bitch. So it's like good dad, good husband, loves his wife.
Yeah.
So you're like, where's this darkness coming from Donnie? What's going on here?
Goes to show that you can be born that way. You just be born a little messed up.
Yep. So that's why you think maybe he is crazy. But
shout out to Mommy Darko. I love her.
You wish she was your mommy? You call her mommy?
Can't say that. I don't want to cross that line.
Interesting fact about this movie is that Christopher Nolan is actually the reason why this movie went to theaters. And
that's cool.
The original cut, or they shot like a few different endings for this movie.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
They shot a few different endings for this movie, and one of them they decided to not put in. It was just like too much. They thought that if they put this ending in, they would have actually had to. It would have gone straight to DVD. Like this would just completely ruin his chances to become a theater movie. They had a scene where they show Donnie with like he's impaled in the chest with the wooden, part of the house. It's like a large chunk of wood like through his body, like dying.
They like straight up show him dead.
Yeah, like they show how brutal his death was, and then they're like, "That's just too much. Nobody wants to see that. Like, let's not do that."
And I'm glad they didn't do that because seeing his family like cry,
yeah,
like that Dude, that's a tearjerker for me.
Yeah.
That one got one out of me.
And so that would have sent it to DVD, but they also weren't really sure. Is it too deep? Is it too weird? Can it make a theater run? Will it have any financial success? But Nolan was like, no, do it. The reason why he was able to have that sway to actually do it is because the distribution company that distributed this movie out to the theaters, they had a good relationship with Christopher Nolan because Nolan made Memento through them. They distributed Memento.
We'll get to Memento eventually.
Yes.
All right, just relax. Donnie Darko was a good step in that direction, by the way. I'm proud of us.
And Memento had a pretty, good financial success with Nolan's movie being released. So they had a good relationship with him and they trusted his judgment because clearly a crazy, weird mind movie that he made was successful. And if he's saying this one's going to be good too, then they're going to trust him. And they ended up releasing it to the theater. And now it's a cult classic. So Nolan continues to remain the GOAT.
Thank you again.
Even though I'm not saying his movie's like a GOAT or anything, but
thank you, Christopher Nolan.
Nolan helps the industry.
Yeah, thank you, Christopher Nolan. Thank you, Donnie Darko.
And also, the movie was filmed in 28 days, the same amount of time that the universe has to be saved in this movie.
That's trippy. How'd they do that? How'd they do that?
I haven't fact checked this. Maybe we can do it now, but I also heard that the dude wrote it in 28 days.
I don't believe that. I won't even believe it if it says that he did do that. This is insane if he wrote that in 28
Well, it could be like a Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone type of deal where he wrote the first draft of Rocky in 3 days, but it had a ton of revisions afterwards. So like the original was in 3 days. Yeah, so this says writer-director Richard Kelly wrote the script for Donnie Darko in just 28 days.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're tweaking it. He later joked that it took him 23 years of life experience to gather the ideas and 28 days to type it.
Funny.
So, fun fact there.
See, I'm not, because if that's true, there's a lot of unanswered questions in this universe. Because that's freaky.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just not a coincidence anymore.
Yeah, it's getting weird. And then a funny one.
Because then 28. What's 2 minus 8? That -6?
Yep.
So -666. Now we've gotten into the triple sixes, and I won't stand for it.
We'll burn the movie.
Yeah. There's something dark about this movie now, if that's actually true.
Well, Donnie Darko. It's pretty dark already. Now we're getting devilish. Not good.
-6.
Now, a funny
satanic.
A funny thing is that for the original ads for the movie before it was released, they showed like a plane crash, like the plane crash, and the release was set pretty close to 9/11.
Oh boy!
They're like, oh, maybe we should pull these out potentially. Let's just not show the plane crash on TV. Maybe people don't want to see that.
Yeah. Well, how did they even go about promoting this movie in theaters? How could you possibly? Well, okay, let's watch the trailer.
Okay.
I would love to see a 2000s trailer.
I've seen it. I think it's pretty shitty.
Well, I mean, it has to. Like, I can't imagine.
In a world.
Yeah. Meet Donnie.
It was as though this plan had been with him all his life, pondered through the seasons. Now, in his 15th year, crystallized with the pain of puberty.
That's that line we were talking about earlier, where it's speaking to him, where he might be 15 years old.
So, why'd you move here?
My mom had to get a restraining order against my stepdad. He has emotional problems.
Oh, I have those too. What kind of emotional problems does your dad have?
I'm going to tell you a little story today about a young man whose life was completely destroyed by these instruments of fear.
Donnie is experiencing what is commonly called a daylight hallucination.
Have you ever seen a portal?
Has he ever told you about his friend Frank, the giant bunny rabbit?
The what? I'm not going to be able to continue this conversation.
I only have a few days left before they catch me. When's this gonna stop?
You should already know that.
Makes about as much sense as the movie does.
Dude, whoa. That's a good trailer.
That was a good trailer.
That's a good trailer. If they released that in the 2000s, that's like one of the best 2000s trailers I think I've ever seen.
Darkest. Darko.
Whoa. I didn't realize that they were marketing it as a scary film.
I mean, it has some horror elements. I think it is like an older, scary movie. Like, I'm sure the bunny's creepy as hell.
For sure. Yeah. Just I'm impressed. I did not think the trailer was going to be that good. That's a good trailer. That's like a trailer you would see today.
It's funny. The trailer really poses some questions where you're like, damn, what's this movie about?
Right.
And you watch it and you're like, damn, what the fuck was that movie about?
Yeah.
I think even Seth Rogen and Jake Gyllenhaal at the rap party, it said that they were both like, yeah, we have no idea what this movie's about. They were both just
That's cool.
so mind blown by what they just filmed.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson did that with Tenet. I'm pretty sure I've seen something similar. Like Robert Pattinson was I have no idea what Tenet's about.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. When you just have faith in your
director.
director. You're like, I guess you know what's going on. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, because like again, the cast is pretty stacked. Getting Patrick Swayze on this movie, this must have been like a pretty hot script. Like when this was out.
Well, Nolan was obviously probably attached after the fact. Not attached, but helped it. Probably, maybe during. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know how many actors were probably listening to what Christopher Nolan had to say about his script. Like, I'm sure there was respect somewhat in the community, but I don't think he just like
was the man yet.
Yeah, not yet. But and then I'm wondering like, how is Jake Gyllenhaal doing in his career before this movie?
He's pretty young in this.
This feels like,
he was in October Sky.
All right, so he'd been in movies.
Couple, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing too big, looks like.
Oh shit, he was in City Slickers. I used to watch that movie
as a young boy.
So yeah, it's a funny one. Good one. All right. But I think this is the one, like, because this is a big role.
Mm-hmm. 4 years later, he did
Darko.
Brokeback Mountain, and then Zodiac, and then there's his career.
There he is.
All of his glory.
Jake Gyllenhaal, man. That could be a top 3.
Actor for you?
It could be.
Yeah.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I like the roles that he picks.
Yeah, he's got good movies.
You love Brokeback.
We got to do Nightcrawler.
We do, yeah.
That's a dark one, bro.
Yeah. No, that's on the list for sure. But Donnie Darko, I'm really trying to think. I mean, never mind. I'm ready to rate the movie. And then I have like one final thought.
Okay. Let's rate it.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for Donnie Darko?
For Donnie Darko, I got a 9 out of 10. I think acting helps a lot with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's perfect. 10 out of 10 from Jake Gyllenhaal's performance to like even the teacher that sucks.
Yeah. You hate her.
Yeah, hate her. So I think everybody nails their role, which is important in a movie like this. Like everybody has to perform the best that they can. So you got that. Writing 9 out of 10 again. I'm a big fan of this movie not playing to the audience and assuming that they're dumb. You got to figure it out. You got to make of this film like just kind of whatever you make of it. So I like that they didn't just take the cop out of like explaining everything to the audience like a child. Editing 9 out of 10. Yeah, you know, I guess maybe in some ways this is like kind of a thriller, like kind of scary movie. Just the way that they went about making this movie. They could have gone about it in different ways, but I do like the final edit for it for sure.
Yep.
Cinematography 8 out of 10. Enjoyability 9 out of 10.
There you go.
So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Donnie Darko.
I have a 7.4 out of 10.
I think that's fair.
Acting 10 out of 10, obviously, with what Gray said, Jake Gyllenhaal. You can't ask for anything better. Writing 6.5 out of 10. I just wish that you could understand the movie without needing that director's cut. Now, maybe the original script is better. The writing in that sense might be worthy. And I don't want to like neglect the fact that there's a lot of like meaningful metaphors that are pretty good. I just wish there seems like there's scenes that really aren't necessary. Like I like to follow Donnie maybe more. There's some stuff like the mom and stuff. I guess it sets up things later, which maybe is fine. But I just find them like a little bit boring. It's more like a slower movie. It's kind of like waiting for some cool things to happen. And there's like the mystery and you don't really get the revelation of the mystery at the end. It's the ambiguous nature, which is personally, I want to have a little bit more concrete knowledge of what's going on. I think the whole tangent universe, all the whole verbiage is never mentioned in the actual movie. We're talking about things that have never actually been mentioned in the movie we just watched. So it's like they probably should have included that stuff to help us understand and actually be able to talk about this movie intelligently. we only knew that stuff because 3 years later he released a director's cut.
Yeah.
So I just wish there was a little bit more of that might be editing. So editing 7.5 or 7, sorry, out of 10, because there's just some like corny like speed ups and stuff. I think they could have made him look better. Maybe it's just the time, but it's also 2001.
Yeah.
I don't know. The editing seemed like some things were kind of choppy-ish. Maybe not. I don't know. I just feel like it's solid. Editing's solid. Nothing noteworthy. Cinematography, nothing really noteworthy. I don't think there's some cool like reversal camera stuff, but it's all pretty standard shot. Nothing too creative. Yeah. So again, I give it a 7 for being solid. The enjoyability, 6.5. It was a slow burner for me. Wasn't too into it. Now I did like the discussion afterwards. I do like what it promotes after, but the actual watching of the movie, I don't think I'm going to be like, let's watch it again, or I want to watch Donnie Darko again.
Interesting. Yeah.
I would never tell Mercedes to watch Donnie Darko. She would have no interest in the movie. She's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So I get 6.5 enjoyability, so that leaves me with 7.4 out of 10 for Donnie Darko. I think it's fun. The philosophy is fun. The diving into it's fun.
I kind of take the editing as like kind of purposeful to where it mirrors the fact that you are not in the real universe. You're almost in like a dreamlike phase. So like it does a pretty good job of like just kind of drifting through the tangent universe as Donnie Darko is.
Yeah, I definitely respect and can understand the arguments against what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they're valid, but
at the end of the day,
just my
my
score fell in this spot.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Respectable.
All right, you got a final thought?
It's not so much a thought, it's more of a theory that like, because this movie does like go hand in hand with like, you know, just like time travel, kind of like time loops, like kind of, I think nowadays we're definitely big on like the multiverse theory. Mm-hmm. You know, just a lot of things are going on. So for me, like I wonder, because this is my second time watching it, so I was kind of just wondering, like, has Donnie Darko just been going through this loop again and again and again? Like, does he just have to keep saving the universe because that's just like kind of how time is constructed? And then, so if that's the case, were we put into the movie where like Donnie Darko for some reason like just knows exactly what's going to happen, including like to himself that he has to die? And the only reason I'm asking that is because he just seems a lot like, while he seems troubled and frustrated, it's like because he's already done this 1,000 times and he knows that. And then I think about like when he meets his girl, he asks her out really quickly because he's just ready to like, if he's going to get any enjoyment, it's pretty much through her.
Yeah.
And then she says one line where she's like, Donnie Darko, like that sounds like the name of a superhero. And he says, well, what makes you think I'm not?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And when you first hear it, you're like, all right, like
game.
Donnie Darko's got game. That's cool. But then like when you look at it kind of like that, it's like, does Donnie just know what's going on and he's just kind of like rushing to get it over with?
Yeah.
I think that goes out the window because I don't know.
The whole primary universe like being on pause in the like the philosophy of the book would say he's not in a time loop. And the fact that he dies
would
mean that he's not. But then again, maybe it was all a dream because he wakes up.
That's all it is. None of this is real. Yeah, none of this is real.
But in the primary universe, technically what he did was just a dream. I mean, he might have actually done it in the tangent universe, but in the primary universe that was on pause, and when he wakes up, all that stuff was just a dream to him.
Yeah.
So in the end, it was all a dream.
Also, I want to go back to that final scene, just because I'm really stuck on the manipulated dead, and you definitely helped me with the mom being in the plane crash, because I didn't even think about that. I just was like watching the movie. I was like, she just seems like she understands what's going on. But like in the final scene, you see his sister crying, so she clearly does not remember the tangent universe.
Sure.
His dad's crying. He definitely did not know what was going on.
No, he
was dialed in on that Super Bowl game.
He's big chilling.
Yeah. Or not Super Bowl game. There was a football game and the Super Bowl got mentioned. I was so confused. I was like, in what world is the Super Bowl being played in October? Anyways, sorry.
The tangent universe.
Sorry. Now that I think about it, writing 7 out of 10. So he doesn't know what's going on, but I'd love to see Sam, his younger sister's reaction to his death, because I can't remember.
She wasn't crying.
She wasn't crying.
She was teary-eyed, but she wasn't bawling. Like the dad was crying harder than she was.
But like his mom, and I get it, like you kind of can make the argument like, oh, she's in shock. She's smoking a cigarette. Part of me thinks she's definitely manipulated, dead. Same as Gretchen.
Yep.
That's why they both wave at each other, because they can't put their finger on it, but they somehow have this understanding that
We're
something
connected somehow.
Yeah. So I'd like to, yeah. So I think that's really cool. Like a good tie in there. That like if you go back and watch this movie again, just pay a little bit of attention to the mom, and let me know. I'm talking to y'all, likers and subscribers, people that are listening to the show. Let me know what you think, because that's got to be the case. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's really the only way that wave makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, well, you kind of get it verified whenever you see Frank in his room with the bunny stuff, and he like touches his eye when he woke up. He's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I lost my eye. Did I just die? So he has this like,
holy shit, that Donnie dude that just died just shot me in the eye in my dream. Huh.
Also just took him on a mission to save the universe.
Yeah. And then he immediately gets back to his real teenage roots. He's like, wow, Donnie's sister sure is hot.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm just going to roll a joint. It's too crazy.
Yeah. So, those are my final thoughts, apparently.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Comment below your thoughts on Donnie Darko. Let us know your theories on the movie. Let us know if we missed any cool details, or
we
maybe
had to have missed so many.
Yeah, or maybe if we fumbled the theories, please correct us on it. Let the followers and the viewers know the wisdom that you got on this movie in the comment section below. So, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode, and we'll catch y'all next week. We are out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is